So today we're going to be making sauerkraut. What's really interesting about sauerkraut is we're going to learn about membranes, how they bring in and out water. We'll also look at fermentation and different types of bacteria. So here I have a big bag of green cabbage. All it is, I cut it up into small pieces. And then here I have the green cabbage here. I'm just going to place it on this little cup. And here I just have basic table salt. Let's get it at HEB. This whole thing, the whole head of cabbage and salt, was less than $1. I'm going to add about a tablespoon per pound of cabbage. Okay, I'm just going to fill that up. Now we're going to just incorporate the salt into the cabbage. And this is what takes a little bit of time here. What we want to do is get the salt throughout all the cell walls of the cabbage. Remember, cell walls are only in plant cells and bacteria. This cabbage is a plant. So we actually want the salt to incorporate throughout that. And then once that's about ready, we're going to just place it in a mason jar. The mason jar will just hold it together. Now, as I'm doing this, you can start to see a little bit of water that's actually being drawn out of the cell membrane and cell walls. And this usually takes about 5 minutes or so, but at this point, if you could zoom in here. So as I'm doing it, you could start to see little droplets of water that's starting to look a little bit more wet. And then as I do this, more and more water will draw out. Okay. Now, this is what I did earlier today. This is another piece of mason jar, and you could actually see a small amount of water in the jar. The water is being drawn out because of the salt. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just add this cabbage to the original sample. And you just want to press it down a bit so it all stays together. Okay. Then what we want to do is keep that in a container where it's being pressed down constantly, so we'll be able to apply pressure throughout. Okay, I use another mason jar here, just full of water, just another weight that you can put it on. So we'll place a good amount of it in here. You can see a lot of water in that form. We're just going to place this on top. And then essentially you just leave it for about a week or so. If you want it really fermented, you can leave it about 2 to 3 weeks, and then just put it in a refrigerator and it should be done. The reason why this happens is, remember the term water waters down. So when you put salt on the outside of the cabbage, the water is going to draw out from the cell of the cabbage to the outside, and that's why it looks watery. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below.